everyone, it's George from Blockchain TXP and today is the 8th of June 2023 and unfortunately guys, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are definitely not looking good. Now what I'm really hoping is that in the second half of this year, the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies starts pumping up, and the reason is pretty simple. Because the US debt ceiling is increased, new funds are going to be injected into the market. The global cryptocurrency market is going to get a breather, but since last week guys, the SEC is aggressively after Binance and Coinbase. Now in today's episode, we have some update regarding Binance US and looks like they're halting trading of dozens of tokens. Now mind you guys, this is only to do with Binance US, which is a completely different entity to Binance. And guys, regarding American football, we have some news as well. And Minnesota Vikings, which I believe is a professional American football team, and they do compete in NFL or National Football League, they are in some trouble. And the news is that the former Minnesota Viking co-owner, called as Reginald Fowler, is slapped with 75 months jail time. So I'll definitely go ahead and talk about it. And it has to do with $750 million worth of cryptocurrency transactions. Definitely not a good look, particularly when you talk about so much drama going on in US regarding cryptocurrencies. And guys, we also have some unfortunate news regarding Russia. And the news is that Russian investigator did actually take 1,000 Bitcoin in bribe money. So unfortunately guys, both the news are definitely not positive and they don't fall under the advocacy for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now we do have some positive news regarding NFTs, and this is from Manchester, England. And Noel Gallagher, guys, one of the former guitarists and vocalists for an iconic pop rock band called Oasis, he's actually turning into NFTs. So we'll definitely go ahead and discuss what that news is all about. And guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee 88 podcast, we have two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And both the news, guys, is to do with artificial intelligence. Now, the first news is to do with Abu Dhabi, and Sam Altman, who's the CEO of OpenAI, did actually have a talk at Hub 71, and what he did actually state is that the Emirate of Abu Dhabi was talking about artificial intelligence before it was cool. Definitely brilliant stuff. And the second news, guys, is all the way from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and Google is actually bringing its flagship artificial intelligence event in Saudi Arabia. Now the news regarding artificial intelligence sounds great guys. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to find out ways how it is connected to cryptocurrency and blockchain protocols. Now unfortunately guys, while I was trying to research news and information more to do with Dubai, UAE and the Middle East in the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, unfortunately I could not find absolutely any news at all, and looks like artificial intelligence is definitely taking the momentum. So what I plan to do is one arm of this podcast, I do want to dedicate it purely on artificial intelligence. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode. So let's kick start with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee 88, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee 88 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee 88. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee 88, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee 88, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Shalhoub Group, a luxury retailer and distributor which is headquartered in Dubai, are getting into the NFT game. And here's the deal, guys. They are not just getting into the NFT and metaverse space, they are going to be shaping the NFT, metaverse and Web 3.0 space, which I believe is excellent not just for Dubai and UAE, but also for the global cryptocurrency community as well. And guys, Shalhoub Group's Web 3.0 sneaker brand called Soulmates revealed their first NFT collection on the 12th of April. Now what is really interesting is that it's called as Soulmates, so it's spelled as S for sugar, O for orange, L for Larry. Now instead of E, they've replaced it with Web3 and it is the number 3, mates.xyz. And guys, listen, Shalhoub Group has over half a century's worth of experience in luxury goods, and them getting into the NFT space is a massive deal. Now if you're a sneakerhead, you definitely need to check out soulmates.xyz. And once again, guys, the number is 3 instead of an E. It has all the information, and in the show notes below, you'll get all the information. And listen, guys, if you want to be an early adopter, you can also pre-mint it at www.premint.xyz/soulmates. So definitely check it out. And they have a Discord community as well. And guys, Nick, who is the head of corporate innovation at Shalhoub Group and also the co-founder of Soulmates, has a WhatsApp group where he constantly provides updates in the area of NFTs, Metaverse and Web 3.0. So guys, check out soulmates.xyz and be part of the Soulmates OG NFT that is definitely going to shape the industry. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now, guys, since we've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now, as of today, it is at $1.1 trillion. Now, unfortunately, guys, if the SEC goes after another exchange, I wouldn't be surprised if the global cryptocurrency market does fall below the $1 trillion mark. Now, since the last 24 hours, it is down by 0.05%. And once again, guys, I do have this feeling in the second half of this year, there is a very high possibility that the prices of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will start pumping up. Now, the total crypto market volume over the last 24 hours is down to $37.26 billion. Since the last 24 hours, it is down by 20.47%. The volume on DeFi is ridiculously bad as well. It is currently at $2.65 billion. And so far as the total value locked is concerned, it is at $45.33 billion, with Lido dominating the race at 29.38%. And so far as its total value locked is concerned, it is at $13.32 billion. And guys, what was a bit surprising is that the website DeFi Llama, it was kind of stuck and it was not giving out information so far as the 24-hour volume is concerned. And I tried to keep checking it for at least 2 hours or so, but looks like it has finally been fixed up. Now, I'm glad it's fixed, but unfortunately, guys, the total volume in DeFi accounts for only 7.11% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Will there be a time when the volume on DeFi accounts for maybe 50 or 60% of the total cryptocurrency market volume? I would definitely like to see that. Now, let's quickly look at the 24-hour volume. The Uniswap's volume is $1.19 billion. And guys, one trend which I'm observing is that every Sundays, the volume of Uniswap tends to go down by 1/4. This does not make any sense, particularly when you talk about cryptocurrencies. Ideally, the volume should be 24/7, 365 days a year. But the cryptocurrency world is absolutely crazy, and crazy matrix and volumes is definitely a daily life. Now, the second one, so far as the volume is concerned, is PancakeSwap at $402.95 million. Followed by Core Finance at $166.99 million, Dodo at number 4 at $142.87 million. And yesterday, guys, in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, I did find some correlation. Whenever the volume of Dodo increases, the volume of Uniswap tends to increase as well. Now, the fifth one is Trader Joe at $69.95 million. Now, guys, let's quickly look at the volume of stablecoins. And once again, guys, the volume of stablecoins is ridiculously low, and it is accounting for a higher percentage of the total cryptocurrency market volume. So the volume is $34.98 billion, but it accounts for 93.88% of the total cryptocurrency market volume. Now, in an idealistic world, what I'd like to see is the volume of DeFi to be roughly around 40 to 60%, the volume of stablecoins to be less than 10%, and maybe 20% should be maybe Bitcoin or Ethereum. Now, one of the scariest metrics as of today is the market cap of Binance BUSD. It is well below the $5 billion mark. And listen, guys, SEC going after Binance could have absolutely devastating consequences. Now, so far as the 24-hour volume of individual stablecoins is concerned, Tether USDT is clearly leading the pack with $25.53 billion, followed by Circle USDC at $4.03 billion and Binance BUSD at $2.89 billion. Now, let's quickly look at the market cap, 24-hour trading volume and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, Bitcoin's market cap is at $513 billion, whereas Ethereum is $221 billion. The 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin is $17.3 billion and Ethereum at $7.20 billion. Now, if you look at the dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum, it is at 46.60% and Ethereum is 20.10%. And since the last 2 weeks, guys, the dominance of Ethereum has definitely been improving. Now, in today's episode, guys, what I'm going to be doing is I'm very briefly going to run through the market cap of privacy coins and Web 3.0 protocols. And in today's episode, I'm going to go ahead and explain what Stacks protocol is. Now, so far as privacy coin is concerned, Monero is clearly an outlier with $246 billion. And guys, I've said this over and over again, Monero is probably what everything Bitcoin intended to be. Now, the second protocol is Mask Network at $332 million, followed by Zcash at $245 million. Now, let's look at Web3 protocols. Chainlink is clearly an outlier, and so far as its market cap is concerned, it is at $3.09 billion. Filecoin is number second at $1.78 billion, and finally the Graph at $1.03 billion. Now, in today's episode, guys, let me very briefly run through what Stacks protocol is. Now, if you go to Messari.io and just look at Web3 protocols, Stacks currently is at number 5th. And if you look at the price of Stacks or STX, it is at roughly around 65 cents. And if you look at the ranking via coin market cap, it is currently at number 50. So let me go ahead and quickly explain what Stacks is. And it has a lot to do with Bitcoin blockchain. So Stacks, guys, essentially is a Bitcoin layer for smart contracts. And it enables smart contracts and decentralized applications to use Bitcoin as an asset and settle transactions on Bitcoin blockchain. And as we know, guys, in 2023, ordinals and inscriptions has definitely taken the cryptocurrency world by storm, and Bitcoin maximalists have mixed reaction to this, and some of them absolutely do not like it. Now, Bitcoin, guys, as you know, is the largest, most valuable, and most durable decentralized asset, and the Stacks layer unlocks $500 billion worth in BTC capital in Bitcoin capital using Bitcoin Layer 1 as a settlement for decentralized applications, and Stacks, guys, has knowledge of full Bitcoin state thanks to its proof of transfer consensus and clarity language, enabling it to read from Bitcoin at any time. And guys, listen, Stacks protocol has been around for quite some time, and the project did actually start in 2017, where Munib, who has been on several podcasts, did actually finish in PhD, and his thesis, guys, did actually lay the foundation for the Stacks layer for Bitcoin. And he's a brilliant speaker, and I very specifically remember, guys, he did have an interview with Laura Shin going back to 2019 or 2020, and it is an absolutely brilliant podcast. Now, as part of his thesis for his PhD, he did release the original white paper and raised $50 million. Now, before this, guys, the early teams built protocols and apps on Bitcoin Layer 1 before they began working in Stacks in 2017, and some early visions of the projects were presented in TEDx talk as well. Now, guys, listen, in 2019, there was the first ever SEC qualified token offerings for the general public, including the US as well, and the full offering material disclosed everything and anything about the project, the company, and the people as well. Now, here is where it gets interesting, guys. In the era of 2018 to 2020, the team was heads down building out Stacks infrastructure. Essentially, what they were trying to do is they were trying to build a programming layer for Bitcoin, and how it works is it works like a blockchain with cross-functional chain consensus with Bitcoin, and what they built was clarity language, which is a rather safe language as well. Now, let me very briefly explain some of the technical aspects of Stacks. And this might sound a bit technical, but I'll try to make it as easy to understand. Now, as Bitcoin layer for smart contracts, Stacks has the following innovation that makes it completely unique. Now, in the upcoming release of Stacks, Stacks will be secured by the entire hash power of Bitcoin, giving it Bitcoin finality. And Stacks, guys, will soon have a novel backend Bitcoin that is one-to-one backed with Bitcoin on Bitcoin Layer 1 network and can be moved in and out of the Stacks layer in a decentralized way. And the new one-on-one Bitcoin-backed asset called SBTC enables Stacks smart contract to be written in Bitcoin, and Stacks powers atomic BTC swaps and assets owned by BTC addresses, and Stacks, guys, uses Clarity programming language for safe decidable contracts. And because Stacks is working on Bitcoin blockchain, it has knowledge of the full Bitcoin state thanks to the protocol of proof of transfer and its programming language that is Clarity, where it enables to read Bitcoin at any time. And one final point to remember, guys, is that Stacks is a scalable layer that enables fast transactions that settle on Bitcoin. Now, if you do want to find out more information about Stacks, what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, go to the website that is stacks.co, and Munib has been on several Bitcoin episodes as well, so definitely check it out. Now, a lot of the people in Bitcoin maximalist are kind of split between Stacks. Some of them actually like it, and a lot of the Bitcoin maximalists absolutely do not like the idea on doing programming on Stacks. But Stacks, guys, has definitely pumped up a lot in 2023. Now, guys, let's discuss the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. And the price of Bitcoin is $26,439, and since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.42%. Since the last 7 days, it is down by 1.39%. And look, guys, over the weekend, it's going to be really interesting to see what the 24-hour trading volumes are. Now, what I'm really curious to see, the 24-hour trading volume of stable coins, and then match it with the 24-hour trading volume of Bitcoin. And guys, Ethereum is currently at $1,841. Since the last 24 hours, it is down by 1.85%. Since the last 7 days, it is down by 0.61%. Binance Coin has miserably fallen down, and it is currently at $261. Since the last 24 hours, it is down by 5.79%. And since the last 7 days, it is down by 14.09%. And it's no surprise, guys, we know the reason why Binance has gone down. Looks like Gary Gensler is definitely heading towards the moon, and we have some update regarding Binance US, and it's so critical to know that Binance US is a completely separate entity from Binance, and Binance US, guys, did actually halt trading of dozens of USDT, BTC, and BUSD pairs because of the SEC lawsuit. Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is, if you're an American citizen, make sure you go and check the official news, because that way you'll understand what is it that you can do, what is it that you cannot do. And Binance USA, guys, has also decided to streamline their buy, sell and convert offerings, and has also paused their OTC trading portal. And because of this news, guys, the prices of Binance BNB has definitely fallen down. Now, guys, let's discuss some news regarding American football. And unfortunately, guys, Bitcoin.com reported that former Minnesota Vikings co-owner Reginald Fowler was slapped with 75 months jail term for processing $750 million worth of crypto transactions. And guys, he has been sentenced to 75 months in prison for processing more than $700 million of unregulated transactions on behalf of cryptocurrency exchanges. And Fowler, guys, was also ordered to pay a forfeiture of $740 million and restitution in the amount of $53 million to the Alliance of American Football. So definitely not a positive news. Now imagine, guys, the fans of American football who truly do not understand what Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are. This news is definitely not ideal for them, and it does put a very bad image so far as cryptocurrency is concerned. And another news from Russia is not putting a good news, particularly for Bitcoin and also for the overall global cryptocurrency market as well. So the news is that an investigator working in Moscow has been caught with a record-breaking bribe paid by a hacking group in cryptocurrency. And according to a Russian report, the corrupt official accepted millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin and saved the digital money for his retirement years. Now imagine getting 1,000 Bitcoins. That is absolutely crazy. So let me try to give out some more information, because the case is involving a former investigator, and his name is Mauro Tambe, and he used to work for the investigation department in Moscow's Yaroslav district. An investigation discovered that he received a large bribe in the form of Bitcoin, and if you look at his official income, it was only his salary. But he and his family did not have any expensive possessions or savings in Russian rubles, foreign currency or even cryptocurrencies. However, during the investigation into his alleged bribe taking, investigators found out that he owned a significant amount of Bitcoin. Now, as of 30th of Jan this year, the value of his Bitcoin holding was estimated to be 1.662 billion rubles, which is roughly around $24 million, and it is believed that he received his cryptocurrency in April 2022 from the members of hacking group called Infraud Organization. And interestingly, guys, he was actually leading the investigation into the criminal case involving the individuals who allegedly gave him the Bitcoin. This is absolutely crazy. Now, based on the official news, there are 3 people mentioned in the name, that is Mark and Konstantin Bergmanov and Kirill as well, and they offered him cryptocurrency to avoid having their assets seized. Now listen, guys, investigation in Russia are currently working on this corruption case, and there is a court in Moscow that will consider a lawsuit in which possessions are seeking to confiscate his cryptocurrencies. Now, could it be possible, guys, that similar news can be found out in other countries as well? And could it be possible that politicians can artificially show that the person has relative Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies? They just send it to his or her public address and claim that he received it from an anonymous source. And knowing the notorious history of left-leaning politicians and left-leaning ideologies, I wouldn't be surprised that this thing does actually happen. Now, guys, let's discuss some news regarding Coinbase and ARK Investment. Now, Cointelegraph has reported that ARK Investment did actually buy Coinbase shares the very same day SEC served a lawsuit. Now, it's unclear at this point of time if they actually bought the shares before or after the announcement, but nonetheless, the news states that ARK Investment bought roughly around 400,000 shares of Coinbase stock, totaling more than $21 million on the very same day the SEC served the exchange with a lawsuit, and the firm added approximately 419,324 Coinbase shares. And as per the report, it states that the total amount of shares equate to roughly around $21.6 million at the time of closing the deal. Now listen, guys, once Coinbase decides to leave the US, what kind of an impact do you think it'll have for the shares? To be honest, I really am not sure. Now, an interesting bit of information in the article states that about a month prior to May 2nd, ARK Investment added an additional 168,869 Coinbase shares, which then equal to $8.5 million, and the firm made investments in March and April as well as 2.5 million shares for about $117 million, and 304,300 shares, which is worth $17.5 million. So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, as and when the news develops regarding Coinbase. So let's say for some odd instance, SEC does actually lose the case. I'm pretty much sure ARK investments will probably make 2 or 3 times or maybe 10 times than the current value at which they purchased the day SEC filed a lawsuit against Coinbase. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding pop rock band and them getting into NFTs. And Noel Gallagher, the former guitarist and vocalist of Oasis, has turned to NFTs. And he has a new band called as High Flying Birds, and currently they're locked in a battle with Foo Fighters in a bid to top the official UK album charts. And Foo Fighters, guys, is an absolutely iconic band. And if you do want to find out more information, the article is published via Decrypt, and what they are reporting is that Noel Gallagher is turning to music NFTs to potentially help close the gap between them. Now, knowing the hardcore and loyal fans in UK, I wouldn't be surprised if the NFTs are sold in just a matter of minutes or maybe just a few hours. Irrespective of the NFTs, they definitely want the local talent or local idol to definitely take over Foo Fighters. So definitely brilliant move, and I do feel it is a great tactic to gain an edge in the UK charts. Now, what are your thoughts, guys? Do you like Oasis? I know so many people who are hardcore fans of Noel Gallagher and also of Oasis, so definitely brilliant news, particularly for NFTs, and I'm pretty much sure hardcore fans in England will definitely go ahead and buy these NFTs just to support the local talent. Now guys, let's discuss two news regarding Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And guys, as I said earlier, unfortunately, I could not find any news regarding Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, blockchain, NFTs, or even metaverse. So what I decided to do was try to cover artificial intelligence related news. And the first news is about Sam Altman, who's the CEO of OpenAI, and he did have a talk in Abu Dhabi where he did actually mention that Abu Dhabi was talking about artificial intelligence before it was cool. So let me try to break this information. And the news is published via thenationalnews.com, and Sam Altman, guys, is the CEO of OpenAI. And he spoke at an open forum in Abu Dhabi and expressed hope for the region's role in global conversation of safe AI development. And he did actually highlight that UAE has been discussing artificial intelligence since before it became popular, and he's been on the global tour advocating for reducing AI risks and promoting OpenAI's large language model, that is ChatGPT. And Sam Altman, guys, clarified his previous comments about potentially leaving Europe if unable to comply with EU laws, stating that OpenAI is excited to operate in Europe and support regulations. And the UAE's Minister of State of Artificial Intelligence called for a global coalition to regulate AI, and Altman echoed the idea, suggesting that the need for an oversight body similar to the International Atomic Energy Agency. And Altman, guys, did actually praise UAE's commitment and, more importantly, the willingness to participate in artificial intelligence advancements. And Sam Altman, guys, did actually meet with the president of Mohammed bin Zayed University of Artificial Intelligence, that is Eric Zing, to discuss the collaboration. And technology, guys, especially artificial intelligence, as we know, is at an inflection point, and it is raising a lot of concerns about potential dangers and the need for risk mitigation. And Sam Altman, guys, did actually sign an open letter warning about artificial intelligence potential risks, comparing them to societal scale risks like the pandemic and even nuclear war. And guys, yesterday in my Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, I did talk about UK's Prime Minister's advisors, who mostly deal with artificial intelligence, did actually state that artificial intelligence also has the possibility to completely annihilate humanity if it is not regulated in the next 2 years. So definitely powerful stuff. However, guys, Altman also emphasized that AI tools are not autonomous creatures, and humans should remain involved in the development and decision-making process. And Altman declined to predict the specific of OpenAI's future larger language model, which is GPT-10, but he actually suggested that it was more than a decade away and would greatly enhance human abilities and productivity. And guys, listen, Sam Altman's visit exemplifies the UAE government's recognition of artificial intelligence potential and the importance of responsible advancements. And the event was hosted by Hub 71 that showcased the UAE's commitment to artificial intelligence. So listen guys, artificial intelligence is definitely here, and what I really want to do is one arm of this podcast, I do want to dedicate it completely to artificial intelligence. Now guys, let's discuss the second news, which once again has to do with artificial intelligence in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And the news is that Google is bringing flagship artificial intelligence event in Saudi Arabia. So let me try to break down what this news is all about. And Google held its flagship event for ads and commerce and called as Google Marketing Live in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. And the event featured new artificial intelligence powered solutions, particularly catered to advertisers, and it also gave insights about consumers in Saudi Arabia. And global and regional Google executives and business leaders from Middle East and North Africa did actually attend the event. and Google introduced artificial intelligence powered features and products in Saudi Arabia, including an enhanced experience with Performance Max using artificial intelligence and automatically created assets. This guy is absolutely a game changer. An automatically created asset does actually enable advertisers to generate and adapt real-time ads that are more relevant to the customers. Listen guys, this will be an absolutely massive deal, and so far as Performance Max is concerned, it is a goal-based campaign type and will now use generative media models and large language learning models, also called as LLMs, to generate professional grade creatives. And Merchant Center Next, which is a new onboarding experience for merchants, was also made available in the kingdom, and the updates to Merchant Center Next include simplified onboarding, product upload and management, ads integration and holistic reporting. And the managing director of Google in the MENA region, that is Anthony Nakache, emphasized Google's commitment to supporting business in Saudi Arabia's digital growth. And Ghazi event marked the very first time Google Marketing Live was held in Riyadh, in addition to its usual location in Mountain View and Dublin, Ireland. And Google aims to drive better performance and reach more customers through AI-powered features. And the event focused on discussing the future of business with artificial intelligence, and Google's presence in Riyadh demonstrates its dedication to the kingdom and its business. And artificial intelligence, guys, now is a fundamental aspect of Google's products and services. I'm pretty much sure all of the upcoming businesses have to have a major element of artificial intelligence involved in them. And one thing which I didn't mention earlier, guys, is that the AI-powered features announced include Performance Max and automatically created assets. And Performance Max, guys, allows access to Google Cloud's inventory from a single campaign, and automatically created assets generate real-time relevant ads. Now, if you're someone who's working in the marketing field, you definitely need to check it out, because this, guys, is an absolutely game changer. And so far as Merchant Center Next is concerned, it simplifies the management of online and offline products and business information. And guys, the event showcased Google's latest ad products innovation and new features for search and maps. So the big question is, guys, how do you think blockchain actually merges with artificial intelligence? Now let me try to share some points, because the implementation of blockchain technology could provide advertisers in Saudi Arabia with transparent and immutable records of ad performance, ensuring accurate and trustworthy data for decision making and optimizing campaigns. And the second point I can think of is by leveraging, let's say, blockchain technologies distributed or decentralized nature. Google's AI-powered advertising solutions introduced at the event could benefit from enhanced data security, privacy, and maybe even fraud preventive measures, instilling greater trust and confidence in the advertising ecosystem. And finally, guys, blockchain-based smart contracts could facilitate more efficient and transparent payment systems between advertisers, publishers, and consumers, streamlining the transactions and eliminating intermediaries, thus fostering a more cost-effective and fair advantage landscape in Saudi Arabia. So those were the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee at 8 from Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about Metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes, it's going to be an Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain TXP. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Alan who asks, do you think the SEC can go after Bitfinex or Tether USDT? Now this, Alan, is such a brilliant but a scary question. Now really I'm hoping that SEC at this moment definitely does not go after Tether USDT, because if they do go after Tether USDT, trust me, just might be, if not one of the biggest black swan event probably in the history of cryptocurrency. And one thing Alan Shah mentioned several times is the impact of Tether USDT's collapse will just might be 10 times or maybe 20 times much stronger than, let's say, FTX and Terra Luna combined, because if you look, a lot of the transactions in the cryptocurrency world are done by Tether USDT. So the big question is, will the SEC go after Tether USDT or Bitfinex? To be honest, they definitely can. But I'm really hoping that they do not go after them now, because if they do go now, trust me, the impact will be absolutely catastrophic. Now, one reason why I don't think SEC will have jurisdiction over Tether USDT is because the parent company, that is Bitfinex and iFinex, they are registered in Britain, Virgin Islands, and in that area, unfortunately or fortunately, the US do not have any regulations. But I'm pretty much sure I did listen to an episode. What they were actually discussing is that as long as any currency directly or even indirectly gets connected to the US dollar, and as we know, one Tether USDT is backed by $1 worth of currency or maybe paper money in case of Tether USDT, could it be possible that SEC could actually go after Tether USDT? Never say never. Now, there are talks and rumors that what Tether USDT did actually do is some of the top executives in Tether USDT are actually former employees of SEC. To be honest, I definitely need to do some more research. I wouldn't be surprised if that is actually the case. But to answer your question, Alan, yes, the SEC can definitely go after Tether USDT. But at this point of time, I'm definitely hoping that they do not go after them, because if they do actually go, the impact will be absolutely catastrophic. And one of the craziest metrics about Tether USDT is that this year they're claiming to have record profits, which does not make any sense because the volume has been ridiculously low. And for some odd reason, guys, the market cap of Tether USDT has been increasing this particular year. It just does not make absolutely any sense. And me personally, I'm not a fan of Tether USDT. But that thing being said, Alan, I know a lot of people that do actually use Tether USDT. So when you talk about use case of cryptocurrencies, I would say 80% of the use case relies only on Tether USDT. So definitely brilliant question. So that's it, guys, on the Ask Me Anything series from Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about metaverse. And guys, if you like listening to this episode, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And how the series of episodes on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.